Dear media friends, good afternoon. Welcome to the second members' corridor of the fourth session of the 14th CPPCC. And here we have invited some CPPCC members to take your questions. And for our media friends, please identify yourself before raising the questions. Now let's invite the first group of members. Self-introduction from our members. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Wang Zhigang, a CPPCC member, the former Minister of Science and Technology. Good to see you, everyone. I am Wang Xuan from Qinghai Province. My name is Wang Xiaolong from Ningxia Foostech Intelligent Equipment Corporation. Now we open the floor to questions.
请西区第一排那位穿深蓝色西服的男记者提问。
谢谢主持人。
Thank you. From the Economic Daily, my question is to former Minister Wang Zhigang. During the 14th five-year plan period, our science and technology achievements were stunning. So, what are the manifestations of about the empowerment of science and technology? Looking back at the 14th five-year plan period, there are two dimensions to reading to the achievements made in science and technology. The first is about achievements. During the past 5 years, China's scientific and technological achievements were quite great. For example, 450 kilometers per hour of our high-speed rail, providing convenience for the passengers. And also in AI, embodied AI, multi-mode AI agents were the highlights. And behind those achievements, we also have made achievements in chips, math, and model building, and computation, as well as the engines, controlling systems, and so on. In terms of quantum technology, quantum telecommunication, quantum computing, quantum measurements were also the areas of new achievements in China. As to integrated circuits, the design, techniques, manufacturing, and assessment, as well as the materials and equipment related to IC, ensured that China can meet our need of chips. In terms of new energy, the previous technological results have entered into those emerging industries and dominant industries like PV and solar panels, as well as storage of energy. And we have broken a new record in terms of fusion energy. New drug development was another highlight. There was explosive growth, especially in terms of biological medicine. Of course, there are some new examples. For example, the technicians put CO2 with hydrogen and the electricity to make the industry processed powder. And also, in the past 5 years, we have successfully reduced the cost and realized a mass production. And we have applied AI in terms of the selection of bioenzymes. During the parade on September the 3rd, a large numbers of high-tech equipment and weapons were shown, thanks to the innovative results of science and technology, empowering the development of new weapons. And the second way of looking at the achievements is about our capacity in innovation. As we know, the precondition of science and technological innovation is about the capacity. And such capacity relies on capacity building and scientific research activities in order to put together a group of results. So in that way, China's scientific and technological innovation system was improved. Efficiency was given full play. The researchers rose in numbers during the past 5 years, and they have improved their capacity. They could answer the technological questions, made breakthroughs in science and technology, and meanwhile, they could propose some new questions and grasp the future direction of cutting-edge technologies. China's layout in strategic technology development has been improved as well in the 14th five-year plan period. For example, the national key labs, the national labs, the scientific and research institutes, the research-oriented universities, and high-tech firms. Those players work together in basic research, applied research, and they engage with the translation of technology results, industrialization, and engineering. So it's a very complete technological innovation chain. And it's worth especially mentioning that in the past 5 years, China's tech firms have made achievements in the translation of results and the technological innovation by enhancing their capacity. And meanwhile, their basic research is also very dominant. China enjoys its edge in planning, especially strategic planning, manifested in scientific and technological innovation. When China laid out our strategic plans, there are 4 major directions: the Chinese features, international innovation features, technological innovation tasks of this new era were put together for our planning. But of course, during the past 5 years, our scientific and research input, the ecosystem building and improvement have seen market progress as well. Technological policies, laws and regulations, culture and social consensus were also felt. And the reason that we could achieve such magnificent results was thanks to the high attention from the CPC Central Committee with Comrade Xi Jinping at its core. With the leadership of CPC Central Committee, China's scientific and technological innovation could move towards the right direction. And looking into the future, in the next 5 years' time, to realize high independence of science and technology will remain the priority of our modernization work. Meanwhile, we must enhance international cooperation in science and technology in order to achieve high-quality technological development and generate new quality productive forces and build our competitiveness. We also need to work on another thing. That is, technological innovation could be integrated with industrial innovation. The future industries must be defined by technological contents. Emerging industries must be led by technologies. Traditional industries must be guided and underpinned by technologies in order to achieve transformation and upgrading. We are convinced that under the leadership of CPC Central Committee, we must embark on a new path with strong capacity building of talents, strong technologies, strong comprehensive strengths, and with empowerment of science and technology, we can achieve the building of modernization. Thank you.
Next question, please.
请东区第一排这位穿浅棕色西服的女记者提问。
好的，谢谢主持人。
Thank you.
我是中国青年报
Good
中国
afternoon,
青
I'm
年网
from
的记
China
者。
Youth.
我的问题要提给
My
王小
question
龙委
is
员。
to
委员您好，
Member Wang Xiaolong.
我们都
Good
知道
afternoon.
工业
We all
武
know
器
that
是制造装
for
备的机
the
器，关系
industrial
到国家
machine
的
tools
发
is
展
very
和安
important
全。
and also
作为
concerns
一
the
位资深的
security
从业者，
for
您
the
认
future
为
development
如
of
何才能
China.
让
So
中
as
国
an
的工业
expert,
武
can you
器
tell us
真正
more
装
about
上中国
like
心呢？
how
谢
could
谢
it
您。
empower like Chinese spirit of the machine tools development? Thank you for your question. When we talk about the machine tools, it is a very important tools for China. So from my company, we are focused on the industry machine tools for over 30 years. We have a shared dream, that is, to have China's industry machine tools with Chinese spirit. So from the 90s of the last century, so at the beginning after graduation, I worked in a company that is focused on the foreign invested technology. I can feel the gap and the distance for the development of the machine tools, because for their tools, they can work for 5,000 hours. But for us, our tools can only work for 2,300 hours. So we also put out the slogan, so because we can do whatever other countries can do. And actually that inspired me throughout the times. And then I created my company and focus in the development in Ningxia. We work with universities and other institutions and work for the new technology for the industrial machine tools. So for sometimes, in order to conquer a special technology, we will stay in our company for over like 3 months, especially for the operation of the axis. We have to focus on the operation of the tools and also the special procedures, and we have to focus on each changes of the operation of the machine tools. We have gone through like different times of experiments, and also we've gone through like a lot of the failures. And in the end, we actually found a solution, and it helped us to improve the precision of the operation of the machine tools. And also in the precision area, actually for our company, we can benchmark of the other countries. And for this year, the domestic machine tools can help us to make a lot of the domestic aircraft and other important products. So all of this progress are thanks to the market demand in China and also continuous innovation. And also it is thanks to our dedication for our work. And in the future, and we will continue to focus on the high precision parameters and also the machine tools. We will continue to innovate and to make sure that we can grasp the core technology. For us, we still believe that we can do whatever others can do, and we can do better. Thank you. Thank you. Next question, please.
请西区第2排那位穿深蓝色西服的男记者提问。
谢谢主持人。农民日报记者提问。
From the Peasants Daily, my question is to Member Wang Xuan.
近年来，青海的高原医学
In recent years, the research in Qinghai province was progressing rapidly. So how can those pharmaceutical researches be translated into real benefits of the locals? Thank you for your question. China boasts 10 million people living above the altitude of 3,000 meters, and Qinghai is located on the plateau. Such rigid and harsh environment is a test of our life. And we also have some specialties of the plateau elements. Chinese academician Wu Tianyi was a good example of the pharmaceutical researchers. By being rooted in Xinjiang Plateau, the chronic diseases diagnosis standards were made into an international standard. And as to the Xinjiang railway building, that helped to protect the lives of 140,000 people. No one died from the diseases specific to the high altitude areas. In terms of standardization and on-site researches, we are leading the way in the world. Now, Qinghai has completed the first high-altitude pharmaceutical research center, and a large number of big data and Tibetan medicines were there, and we also have the research base for the sea level of about 4,000 meters. We also have genetic samples in our center. In terms of high-altitude disease prevention and control, clinical medicine innovation, and TCM development, we have made abundant achievements, protecting the lives of people living at high altitude. And also for the rehabilitation industry development, we pave the way. By relying on the local ecological resources in Qinghai, we propose the concept of rehabilitation at the plateau, and we improved people's mentality. in the sea level of above 2,000 meters, we have blazed a new trail of industrial development. Last summer, 30 households from Jiangsu province came to Qinghai to assist Beilongshan rehabilitation base. After 15 days of tour, they felt in person about the charm of the plateau rehabilitation services. They meandered through the valleys and embraced the beauty of local ecology in Qinghai. The yak, meat, and zamba were very tasteful. And we also have experts escorting them throughout the 15 days, dispelling their concerns about the sea level. And they say that they have been fully refreshed by the plateau, by the oxygen, and also by the beautiful scenery here. And they would love to speak for Qinghai province after coming back. And with the development vitality stimulated by the ecology, we also help to ensure people's lives and trigger more value from local ecology. Qinghai will continue to create a way of ecological medicine and pharmaceutical industry development so that we could bear more fruits from the local environment and people and the nature could live in coexistence. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, the first group of the members. Now we would like to invite the second group of members. Please introduce yourselves. Good afternoon. I'm the CPPCC member Zhang Qiao from Suzhou University. Good afternoon. I am CPPCC member Zhao Mei from the Chinese Academy of Social Science. Good afternoon. I am CPPCC member Nan Chunhui. I'm from Zhengtai Group. Now it's the Q&A session. Please raise your hand. Thank you. With CGTN, my question is to member Zhao Mei. Good afternoon. You have been studying about the civilization between China and foreign countries. Can you share with us some of the stories you process most? And also, can you tell us some of the examples how to advance the human civilization? So I would like to tell two stories to answer your question. The first one is about the Uncle Han. This is Richard, and actually about 20 years ago, actually he is quite attracted about the Chinese character, and since then he has focused a lot about the research of the Chinese character, and also he did a lot of work about the studies of the Chinese language, so that the people around the world can feel the charm of the Chinese culture, Chinese civilization, and also the Chinese culture. And also he studies a lot of the oracle bone scripts, inscriptions. And so right now you can see many foreigners actually can get access to a lot of information about the Chinese character, and also they are fond of the Chinese culture. And for the Chinese people, we can also feel that the charm of the Chinese culture. And another story is about myself. So a friend of mine is actually from the United States. She is an expert for Chinese culture. And a few years ago, this person visited Xizang, and this person shares with me a lot of impressions. Feel that the street is quite peace, and also it is quite bustling, and they can also feel the charm of the railway. And actually, he made a phone call to his family members in Washington, and you can feel that the signal is quite good. He said a lot of times it's amazing about the telecommunication signals. He is quite impressed that if you want to know more about China, you have to walk around in China, because is believing. The civilization exchanges is very important to advance the peace and also the civilization in the world. Because of the communication, and then we can see that different civilizations can inspire with each other, and then we can feel that we have this like momentum for the development of the civilization. So for China, we'll stay open to embrace the world and also to use our civilization, and we will be inclusive and also to boost the people-to-people exchanges. Thank you.
请大家提问，请举手示意。请西区第2排那位戴眼镜穿西服的男记者提问。
谢谢主持人，我是法制日报全媒体记者。
Thank you. From the Jurisprudence Daily, my question is to President Zhang. The new quality productive forces are indispensable from the universities which are preparing for the cross-disciplinary development and innovative platforms. So with your experience in terms of the integration of technological innovation and industrial innovation, what is the role of universities? To answer your question, I would love to start from something we are all familiar with. Everyone has an identity card. To ensure privacy, there are a lot of black technologies involved in ID. For example, the optic technology comes from the university labs. It's very easy to understand. If you pose your ID card to the optic laser, you could see the China characters. And if you turn the ID card, you could see the colors changing, just like the rainbow. And also, if you turn on your camera and zoom in the page of your ID card with your personal information, you can also see the initials of the identity card. And if you turn to the back cover, you can also find the initials of the Great Wall in Chinese. By relying on the technological innovation ecosystem and industry development in Suzhou, these anti-fake technologies have been applied in consumption, financial services, and the governance areas. It has entered into the lives of households. So from this story, it is visible that in terms of spurring integration of technological and industrial innovation, the role played by universities was quite obvious. And of course, for the universities to play a bigger role, the key is the profound integration of industries, academia, and researchers. So we propose that we can establish the Enterprises Lab on our campus and take our classes to the enterprises in return. So while on campus, the students can do some researches based on the capacity of the enterprises. They can learn knowledge while practicing. And also with the real practices taken back to the campus, they could have more profound knowledge accumulation. And also after graduation, they could excel in the workforce. It's surprising that now this model has been expanded from just one locality to a national action. During the 5-year plan period, the University Technological Translation Center was established to upgrade the science parks in universities to solve the problems of transformation of the universities. Take Jiangsu as an example. Ministry of Education and Jiangsu Province cooperated in establishing such a translation center on the campuses. In the last 1 year, 32 public translation platforms were built on top of that, covering 100 universities in China. And with 57 and 72 results, 164 new firms were established as a result, and such translation of results were accelerated. For another, Jiangsu is planning the synergy effect of high learning institutions and the enterprises. So the advantageous industries and disciplines will be combined. And the technological results of universities will be organized in translation process. Looking into the next 5 years, the decisions and policies of universities must be further elevated. We are not just providing inspirations as the source of innovation. We must also endeavor to become the engine of innovative development. We must target at the cutting-edge technologies, for one thing, in order to break the borders of humanity. Knowledge, we must also be deeply rooted in industries to solve real problems of the enterprises. So the papers were written based on the local ground of the motherland, and technological results could then prosper and better serve the lives of every person and to serve a better future. Thank you.
Thank you. Next question, please.
蓝色衣服戴丝巾的女记者提问。
Thank you. With People's Daily, my question is to member Nan Chunhui. Good afternoon. You have been focusing the development of the manufacturing for 40 years. So under the background of the integration of manufacturing and also the real economy, how to upgrade the manufacturing industry. So as for the upgrade of the manufacturing industry, we have to focus on the digital technology as well as the intelligent development. For the policy for our company, we focus on some of the new energy products, and also I would say that for the voltage is actually the very important part for the power generation tools. And now you can see we are seeing a lot of the improvements in the AI. And last year, we have actually increased a lot, 17% increase for the sales of the voltage. So this is thanks to our continuous dedication in the innovation. So for us, we are the first to develop the key core technology for the transformers and also to reduce the emission. And also it can help us to be more bio-friendly for the improving the development of the transformers. And this is actually towards a greener direction. For the Zhengtai Group, in the over past 4 decades, at the beginning, we are just a very conventional equipment manufacturing, but right now we are actually a comprehensive smart energy system solutions company. For each time of the upgrade, this always relies on our innovation. We are continue to focus on different tasks. For example, the change of the transformer types and also the improvement of the inverters, and also we continue to focus on the smart and the green manufacturing. And also we are also focused on the service-based product manufacturing. In our company, after we take the orders and to the delivery for the whole process, we always focus on the computing, and this will intelligent computing. This can help us to increase the efficiency by 50% and reduce the cost by 20%. And in recent years, we are continue to leverage our advantages, and also we focus on the AI plus and also the cloud platform. We build a big data system, and also we work with our vendors to ensure that we can have a digital transformation, and we will also work together with the SMEs to grow together. So before each one of the transformers we produce, this actually thanks to the efforts to thousands of our efforts from the vendors. And this also shows the advantage and the strength of our Chinese market and industries. This also shows that we are achieving for the win-win cooperation. We are glad to see that with the guidance of the policy, depending on our mega-size market, right now we are prosperous in our development. And also, made in China is also a very great concept, and also marching towards to a new era for the manufacturing industry. And we have a very bright future. Thank you.
谢谢南委员，感谢3位委员接受采访，请。下面有请第3组委
Now
员
let's
入场，
welcome the third
请。
group of members.
请委员做自我介绍。
Self-introduction, please.
大家好，我是全国政协委员
Hello
刘
everyone,
铮，
I am Liu
来自
Zheng,
中
a
国航天科
CPPCC
技集
member
团。
from the China Aerospace Science and Technology
大
Corporation.
家好，我是全国政协委员民吉措姆。
Hello everyone, I am Min Ji Cuomo from the University of Tibetan Medicine.
大家好，我是全国
My name is Xu
来自
Xin
中国科学院。
from the Institute of Vertebrate
请大家提问，请举手示
Paleontology
意。
of Chinese Academy of
请
Sciences.
西
Now we
区
open the
第
floor
一
to
排穿白色
questions.
衣服的女记者提问。
谢谢主持人。总台央视记者提
From
问。
CMG,
我的问题想提给刘
My
铮委
question
员。
is to member Liu Zheng.
14.5期间，我国
During the
成功发
14th
射
five-year
了火
plan
箭
period,
300
China
多枚。
launched
想
over
问您作为一
300
名航天工艺
rockets.
师，
So,
那
as
您
an
觉得火
engineer
箭的
in
零部件工艺
aerospace,
创新
in
在
terms
中
of
国
the
航天的自主创
processing
新中
technology of
扮演着
parts
什么
of the
样的角
rockets,
色？
what is the
谢谢。
role of those
感谢这位
technologies
记者
in
的
China's independent
今年
innovation?
的2月11号，
Thank you for the
由我们集
question.
团
On
研制的
February
长征
the
10号
11th,
可重复使用
Long
运载火
March
箭，
number
搭
10
载着孟州载人飞船，联
carried
合飞行实验
Mengzhou
取得了圆
carrier
满成功。
to
这也
complete the
标志着
launch.
我
It
国
was
载人
quite
月
a
球探测
success.
工
It
程
meant that the
取得了
manned
重要阶
lunar
段性进展。
exploration
20年前，
technology
我
and
刚参加工
project
作的
has
时候，
made huge
我国
progress.
每年只能
20
发
years
射5、6
ago,
枚火
China
箭，
could launch
而刚
only
刚过去
5
的
to
这一年，
6
我们就发射
rockets
了8、
every
90枚。
year. But in the past 1 year, we
我们
launched
新中国
8 to
第一
9
次火箭发
in
射
1 year
到
alone.
第100次发射，
According to my
历时
calculation, from the
37
first
年。
launch
而最近
to
的
the
100次发
100th
射
launch, it took
用
us
了1年多。
37 years.
伴随着
But
火
it
箭
took
发
us
射量的
just
成倍
1
增长，
year
我们需
to
要
make
不断地
such
提高
great
火箭的制造
achievements
能
in the
力，
number of
把它做
rocket
得更
launch.
快
So we
更好。
need better
而每
manufacturing
一枚火箭的
capacities
制
to
造
make
和
high
成功发
quality
射
rockets.
背后
And the
是成千上
manufacturing
万
of
名航
launch
天
of
人的
every
辛勤
rocket
付
is
出。
indispensable
这意
from
味着
the
我
efforts
们每一个
made
人
of
每一个
those
环节每一个
aerospace
零部件
workers,
都不能
which
错
means
过。
every part
在
must
这
be
个火箭的制
ensured
造
in
过程
great
中，
success
我所在的团队
during
主
the
要负责
launch.
根
And
据
my
设计图纸
team
制定工
is
艺方法，
responsible for
把毛坯
making the
加工成
processing
火箭的零部
technique
件。
so as to
这里体现
manufacture the
的就
parts
是
for the
航天工艺
rockets
师
that
精益
could
求精的工
reflect
匠精神。
the
这几年
precision
我们不甘受
pursuing
制，
spirit
加大
of
自主创
those
新和
engineers.
攻关突破
And
力
we
度，
keep improving
由我们航天
independent
企业牵
innovation
头，联
capacity
合国内的高校
led
和机
by
床厂
our
等各方力
cooperation.
量，
We work together
共同
with
开发新型
universities
工艺装
and
备。
the factories to
成功
develop
研制
the
出
new
火箭
forms
火
of
箭筒段专用
engineering
复合加工机
equipment,
床，
especially
用上了
those
中国自己的生物系
composite
统，
processing
实现火箭筒段
machine
加工
tools.
效率和
So
精
in
度
terms of
翻番。
processing precision and
同时，
efficiency,
把
we
核心
have
技术
doubled all
牢
of
牢地
those
掌握在
targets.
自己的
The
手
core
里。
technologies
形
were
象地说，
completely
我们的
owned
自主
by
工艺
China.
创新就是
Our
把制造火箭
independent
零部件的工艺方
process
法和这个
innovation
方
is
法
about
所用到的
combining the
装备工具
methodology
一
of
起完成，
parts
实
manufacturing
现工艺
with
装备
the
一体化，
equipment
达
processing.
到
So
同步
it's
设
an
计、
integration
协同开发
process.
和
The
深度
design
集
of the
成，
process,
形成
the
需求牵引、联
collaborative
合迭代的创
development
新
were
生
put
态，
together to
做到了
establish
自力
such an
更生。
innovative ecosystem. That's
从
how
跟
we
随到
achieve
引领，
independence.
中国航
From
天
just the
部分
following
技术创
steps
新
to
已
leading the
踏入
way,
无人区，
China's aerospace
前面
has
没有
entered
现成
into
的道路，
uncharted
只
areas,
有自
and
主
there
创
was
新，才
no
能在
ready
大航天时代
road
的
for
国
us
际
to
竞争
embark
中
on.
赢得主动。
That's how we could
后
take
续
the
我将
leadership
继续和我的
in
团队一
such
道，
major
针对围绕
country
可重复使
competition
用
arena.
和智
In
能
the
制造
future, my
两
team
大
will
核心
continue
领
to
域开
work
展工
on
作，
two core areas,
把航
including
天精神
the
在新时
intelligent
代生动
manufacturing,
地
so the
体现出来。
spirit of aerospace could be
也正是这样的精
tapped
神，
to the full
铺
in
就了
this
一
new
条
era.
属于咱们
And
中国人
thanks
自
to
己的
that spirit,
航天
the Chinese
强
people
国之
have
路。
embarked on a special way
谢
of
谢刘委员，
aerospace development. Thank you.
请记者提问。
Thank you. Next
请
question,
东区
please.
第一排穿黑色西服的男记者提问。
好，谢谢主持人。
Thank
中
you.
国政协杂志社记者提问。我
With
的问
China
题是问给
Political
徐新委员
Magazine,
的。
my question is
徐
to
新委
member
员
Xu
您好。
Xin.
据
Good
了解，
afternoon.
您多
As far as I know, you have attended a lot of the scientific education events in China. Can you tell us, like, for this kind of event, what is the role to ignite the children's interest in the science? Thank you. So for the science conference, actually it is a very important agenda for our CPPCC members. So since the 14th CPPCC National Committee, we have over 700 events. So for me, I am a scientist. I have attended many educational programs organized by the CPPCC, and so I tell the stories and share the science with the children. And also, I deeply felt that for this kind of event, it is of great significance. I still remember that in one of the educational events in Xinjiang, some of the children from Uyghur Autonomous Region, they asked me a lot of questions. I still remember that the eyes, that is the aspiration for knowledge. And also, for sometimes, some of the children just hugging me, and they don't want to leave this event. They want to learn more about their education, and they're saying that they want to grow up and become a scientist. And also, for some of the children said, how to become a scientist. They are showing a lot of the interest and aspiration to make their contribution in science. So during all of these scientific education events, I always told the children that actually it is a very cool job to become a scientist and trigger their interest. And for some of the young scientists, they also told me that they read a lot of the papers from me, and also they are very interested in science, and they become a scientist in the future. And there's a lot of stories like that. I feel very proud about it. And I'm very proud myself to become a scientist, and also to pass this spirit to the other people. And in the new year, and in Zhejiang and Xinjiang, I do 2 scientific reports, and also I spend a very meaningful holiday with the children, and during the Spring Festival, and also visited by Shandong and Nanning, and I continue to educate the students and the children and give them more education about the science. This is very important for us to build China into a strong nation in science, and also it can also help us to improve the scientific structure in China, and science will become the pillar for the development of China. I also expect that in the future, more and more people can join us and to educate younger students and children. Thank you. Next question, please.
From China News Service, my question is to Mingji Cuomo. Last year, during the 60th anniversary, as a member from Xizang and an expert in Xizang medicine, what are the real changes felt on the plateau, and how could that changes boost people's sense of attainment of locals? Thank you for the question. Last year marks the 60th anniversary of the establishment of Xizang Autonomous Region, and the delegation led by President Xi Jinping visited Xizang to attend that conference that fully showed how the CPC Central Committee cared for the Xizang locals. I was lucky to be on the celebration event. On that day, on the plaza, the flags were flying in the air, and ethnicities of all sorts wear costumes, and the children were beaming with smiles on their face. And that scene lingered on my mind. People could never think about that scene decades ago. I was born in the northern part of Xizang. I was influenced by my previous generations with their actions of saving lives. And on my 13th year, I started my journey of exploring Xizang medicine. After graduation, I was dispatched to Narong County. Many villages had no transportation connection, so we had to ride horses to seek medicines. And because of the lack of medicines and the doctors, the locals, once sick, had to be carried by horses for a ride of about 7 to 8 hours in order to arrive at a closest clinic. And with the infrastructure input by the Chinese government, we have greatly shortened the distance of seeking medical help. And for many diseases, they could pursue instant help at the local clinics in the villages. And with the delegation coming to Xizang to help the locals, the services has been boosted greatly. And for the local herdsmen and farmers, their rights of life have been guaranteed. And meanwhile, the business I am in, the Xizang Medicine career, has been booming as well. University of Xizang Medicine, since establishment, cultivated about 11,000 talents. And Xizang Medicine institutions rose in number to 1,000, with the annual acceptance of about 34,000 patients. And it has also been listed into the UNESCO Intangible Cultural Heritage. And because of that listing, the Xizang Medicine has come to its new high in the international stage. Those achievements are indispensable from the leadership of the CPC. And as the Xizang locals always say, we must follow the guidance of the stars and we will not be lost, just like how we follow the leadership of CPC. We believe that Xizang will have a better tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you to all three members. I would love to give my thanks to all the media friends. This is the end of this corridor. And in the morning of the 11th of March, there will be the third corridor. Please stay with us.